In a world where love often gets lost in the chaos of ambition, can two hearts rediscover their bond before it's too late? In the pulsating heart of Seoul, Jiwon and Seojin stand side by side on their wedding day, radiant in their youth and enthusiasm. Jiwon, a rising corporate star, dreams of climbing the corporate ladder, while Seojin, a passionate architect, strives to leave her mark on the city's skyline. Their wedding is a beacon of hope for their families, who have long anticipated this union, believing that their loving support will carry them through any challenges. However, the path of love proves to be rockier than anticipated. As months turn into years, the fervor of their wedding day fades under the weight of their respective careers. Jiwon's long hours and relentless dedication to work cause him to drift away emotionally, filled with the pressure to provide more without emotional investment. Seojin, feeling the absence of warmth and connection, becomes increasingly frustrated and lonely. Late-night dinners become routines filled with silence, where love is overshadowed by ambition. Their initial vows of steadfast support now feel like distant echoes, and the toll on their relationship becomes painfully evident, drawing concern from family and friends who witness their growing distance. Amidst this turmoil, fate takes an unexpected turn. Seojin stumbles upon an unopened letter addressed to Jiwon, revealing a series of missed medical appointments due to an undisclosed illness. Confusion transforms into concern as she confronts Jiwon. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asks, her voice trembling with emotion. Jiwon, defensive yet vulnerable, struggles to articulate his fear of burdening her further, leading to fierce arguments that expose the cracks in their communication. He insists, "I can handle this on my own." But Seojin's eyes plead for connection. "We're a team, Jiwon. Don't push me away." As days pass, Seojin's empathy compels her to look beyond the corporate coldness and reconnect with Jiwon. She takes it upon herself to help him navigate the complexities of his condition, rediscovering her love for him along the way. They share heart-wrenching moments together. He opens up about his fears of inadequacy, and she reveals her own insecurities about feeling overlooked in his quest for success. The barrier between them begins to crumble as they share both laughter and tears, reigniting sparks of the chemistry that brought them together. The climax arrives when Jiwon faces a critical health crisis that forces him into a hospital stay, and for the first time, he is vulnerable and helpless. It is Seojin who steps up, mobilizing friends and family for support. She becomes his fiercest advocate, confronting his corporate employers to expose unethical practices that contributed to his stress. In this moment of urgency, the couple confronts a life-altering decision: to either let the illness and corporate pressures define them or wield their love as a shield against the world. Amidst the sterile walls of the hospital, Jiwon grasps Seojin's hand, whispering, "I can't imagine facing this without you," finally admitting how much he needs her. As days turn into weeks, Jiwon slowly recovers, and they find themselves in a new, uncharted territory of their relationship, stronger than ever. Seojin's courage transforms from mere survival to active participation in their shared life, while Jiwon confronts his own ambitions, learning to strike a balance. Their journey is not without its challenges. Family expectations loom large, and whispers of future responsibilities resurface. Yet this time, they tackle these pressures together, an evolved partnership forged in the fires of tribulation. In the resolution, Jiwon proposes a renewal of their vows, this time with an understanding born of hardship and resilience. Surrounded by loved ones, they speak not only of love, but of shared struggles and rebirth. "Let's promise to communicate, no matter how tough it gets," Seojin says, her voice filled with hope. As they exchange rings, both know that their journey is far from perfect, but undeniably profound. With a renewed commitment to each other, they step forward into the unpredictable future, hand in hand, hearts finally aligned. The streets of Seoul buzz around them as they emerge from the chapel, symbolizing the vibrant renewal of their love, blooming quietly like cherry blossoms after a long winter. The promise of brighter days lies ahead, not just for them, but for anyone brave enough to pursue love amidst the chaos of life. Ambition can build empires, but can it break a heart? In the vibrant skyline of Seoul, Ji-won and Seojin's love story gradually transforms from a fairy tale into a somber reality. Years after their dream wedding, Ji-won's drive for success in the corporate world consumes him, causing him to morph into a distant figure shrouded in deadlines and board meetings. Seojin, once brimming with dreams of designing breathtaking buildings, finds herself almost invisible in the face of Ji-won's relentless ambition, desperately clinging to the warmth of the passionate love they once shared. As the seasons change outside their window, so do the dynamics of their relationship. Seojin spends lonely evenings at home, dinner plates growing cold while Ji-won stays buried in work. "You're already late for dinner again," she says one evening, frustration clear in her tone. "Do you even care?" Ji-won brushes her off with a terse, "I'm doing this for us," and turns back to his laptop. Each response further deepens the distance between them, with tension building ever louder in their silence. Their passionate exchanges turn into sharp arguments, misunderstandings striking like matches ready to ignite into a flame. Seojin decides to seek advice from her older sister, who has weathered the storms of marriage. In a quiet cafe, she reveals her heartache. "It feels like I'm losing him," she admits, a bitter tremor in her voice. "I just want him to see me again." Her sister, sipping her coffee thoughtfully, responds, "Sometimes you have to remind them of what truly matters before it's too late." The insight stirs something in Seojin. She realizes she needs to take action to bridge the gap. Fueled by a renewed sense of purpose, Seojin makes plans for a romantic getaway, hoping to rekindle their connection, a last-ditch effort to find Ji-won, the man she fell in love with. However, when Seojin reveals her plan to Ji-won, it backfires spectacularly. "This isn't the time for a vacation. I need to deliver on this project," he snaps, further driving the knife of disconnect between them. In a moment of fury, she counters, "You think work matters more than us? You're losing yourself, Ji-won." The intensity of their argument peaks as hurtful words slice through the air, each feeling unheard and betrayed. Seojin runs out, tears streaming down her face, leaving Ji-won grappling with his choices. In the aftermath, Ji-won is left alone in their spacious apartment, the silence deafening. While he stares at their wedding photo, realization dawns. His ambitions have overshadowed the life they built together. An unexpected call from his boss interrupts his thoughts, leading to a shocking announcement. His long hours project has just been canceled. Suddenly, the corporate ladder seems more like a fragile construct. The very foundation he relied upon crumbles beneath him. In his moment of vulnerability, Ji-won nearly breaks free from the icy chains of work, yearning to reconnect with Seojin. The climax arrives when Ji-won finds her at the cafe where she had sought comfort before. He hesitates, seeing her immersed in her sketches, the passionate architect he fell in love with. The sight pulls at his heart, compelling him to walk up to her. "Seojin, can we talk?" The sincerity in his voice and the vulnerability in his eyes disarm her. "I've been so lost. I didn't realize how far I'd pushed you away," he admits, the weight of guilt heavy in his chest. "I promise to make it right. Let's find each other again." Seojin, though skeptical, see the sincerity shimmering in his eyes. They talk, really talk, for hours, exploring the depths of their feelings. With each shared word, the emotional barrier starts to crack, and they glimpse the flicker of hope. "We need to rebuild, not just our careers, but our love," she says, and for the first time in a long while, Ji-won nods in agreement. As the resolution unfolds, the couple embarks on a new chapter together, learning to balance their work with their relationship. They establish boundaries, dedicating weekends to each other and engaging in activities that spark joy, inspiring Seojin's creativity and reminding Ji-won of their shared dreams. The journey of reconnection is not seamless. It requires patience and an unshakable commitment, yet they face it together, hand in hand. In the final scene, Seojin hangs her latest architectural model in a gallery, and Ji-won stands in the back, a proud smile on his face as he watches her shine. Quietly, he thinks that success doesn't only come from corporate triumphs. It lives in shared moments, laughter, and understanding. Their love may have weathered a storm, but it emerges enriched and renewed, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. As the camera fades, the power of love becomes clear. It can endure, evolve, and thrive even in the most tumultuous times. Sometimes the hardest choice is to let go of the person you love most. In the heart of Seoul, Seo-jin sits across from her close friend Hana in a cozy cafe, the aroma of roasted coffee beans mingling with the heady scents of pastries. With a heavy heart, Seo-jin recounts the slow unraveling of her marriage to Ji-won, once filled with love and promise. Now, it feels like she's merely a shadow in her own life, lost in a whirlwind of Ji-won's corporate ambitions and their increasingly suffocating routine. Hana, spirited and kind-hearted, listens intently, her brow furrowed in concern as Seo-jin shares her feelings of isolation. Days turn into weeks, and despite Hana's encouraging words to find her independence, Seo-jin struggles to envision a life outside her marriage. She remembers the little things, the spontaneous adventures they once shared, the laughter echoing in their home. But now those memories are tainted with a biting loneliness. "I just want him to see me again," Seo-jin confesses, her voice cracking with emotion. Hana places a reassuring hand on Seo-jin's arm, her eyes glistening with compassion. "You deserve to be happy, Seo-jin. Don't let his ambitions dim your light." As she departs the cafe, Seo-jin's resolve wavers. The thought of leaving Ji-won feels like sacrilege. But as the weeks stretch on, Ji-won remains emotionally unavailable, consumed by work and oblivious to her silent suffering. The couple's conversations devolve into empty exchanges. "How was your day?" becomes a perfunctory ritual that lacks depth. Frustration builds inside Seo-jin, and she can no longer ignore the void between them. One evening, tensions explode when Seo-jin catches Ji-won flaking out on yet another dinner date. Upset and angry, she leans over the table, her voice trembling. "This isn't living, Ji-won." Yet his eyes remain distant, and he mutters, "I'm doing this for our future." Seo-jin's heart shatters at his words, a painful reminder of how their shared dreams have obscured each other's needs. It's in this dark moment of confrontation that a truth surfaces. Perhaps it is time to fight for herself, rather than against Ji-won. Emboldened by a sudden clarity, Seo-jin shares her feelings with Hana again, who urges her to take back her independence. Over coffee, she asserts, "Filing for divorce doesn't mean you don't love him. It means you love yourself enough to choose happiness." The words resonate deeply, echoing in Seo-jin's mind as she walks home that day. The glossy high-rises around her shift from symbols of dreams to mere oxygen-sucking cages, suffocating her spirit. That night, she sits at their small dining table, and the emptiness of the chair across from her grows heavier, a symbol of Ji-won's absence. In a decisive moment, Seo-jin files for divorce, believing that severing their ties is the only path to reclaim her happiness. As she hands the paperwork to her lawyer, Seo-jin feels a mixture of relief and sorrow wash over her. It's a leap into the unknown, but also a necessary act of self-preservation. However, the relief is short-lived. The next day, Seo-jin receives a call from Ji-won's mother, revealing a shocking truth. Ji-won has quietly been diagnosed with a serious health condition, his work being an escape from the reality he is too afraid to confront. Stunned, Seo-jin rushes to confront Ji-won, who is sitting alone in their living room, visibly exhausted. "You should have told me," she exclaims, her earlier resolution shaken. He looks up, shame written on his face, yet beneath that shame is fear and vulnerability. "I thought I could handle it. I didn't want to drag you down with me." In that moment, the invisible wall between them crumbles. "But you don't have to bear it alone," Seo-jin whispers, her decision hanging in the air, suddenly softened by the compassion she realizes she still holds for him. The climax arrives when they sit together, Ji-won's hand trembling in hers, as he admits how lost he has felt. In the quiet between them, a sense of urgency crackles, illuminating the importance of their connection. "What if we fight this together?" Seo-jin proposes, heart racing with the realization that her flight from the relationship has evolved into a fight for it instead. Through tears and trembling promises, they vow to navigate this health crisis and their marriage as partners once again. In the resolution, Seojin and Jiwon embark on a journey of healing, both for his health and their relationship. They attend counseling sessions together, openly confronting their fears and desires. The journey is far from easy, as they face moments of doubt and exhaustion. Yet, each small victory, whether it's sharing a heartfelt laugh or an encouraging word, reinforces their reignited bond. As the seasons change outside their window, so too does their relationship blossom anew. The couple embraces a shared routine that balances work and love, respecting both their ambitions and each other's need for connection. In the final scene, Seojin stands museum-side, showcasing her latest design project, the reflections of their journey clear in the glass windows. Jiwon stands at her side, a radiant smile breaking through the clouds that once hung over them. In that moment, they embody the strength of their love, not merely survivors, but partners ready to face whatever challenges life throws their way. Life isn't perfect, but standing together, the promise of hope flickers brightly. Sometimes the truth is the most painful burden of all. In the heart of their shared apartment, Seojin stands surrounded by the remnants of memories, trinkets from travels, gifts exchanged on anniversaries, all suffused with an undeniable sense of longing. Once filled with laughter and love, the silence now echoes with the weight of discontent, as Seojin grapples with the dull ache of an emotional chasm that has widened between her and Jiwon over the years. While she prepares to confront the reality of their crumbling relationship, she stumbles upon a stack of unopened letters nestled in the back of their drawer, curiosity pulling her closer. With each envelope she opens, her heart races, sensing something profoundly unsettling. The elegant script unfurls secrets her husband has kept hidden, letters from doctors detailing a terminal diagnosis. Seojin's breath hitches as the world around her fades away. The love she thought she was resisting suddenly collides with an avalanche of shock and disbelief. Jiwon has been fighting alone, burdened by a pain she never knew he bore. How could he hide this from her? Her resolve to leave crumbles like autumn leaves, and a whirlwind of emotions spins within her, betrayal, guilt, and an overwhelming sense of urgency to reach him. In the days that follow, Seojin grapples with her heart's conflicting desires, a growing sense of independence and the overwhelming instinct to reconnect with her husband. She recalls the moments that once defined their love, the sweet whispers of promises shared and dreams of a future that now seemed impossibly out of reach. As she wrestles with her feelings, she confronts Jiwon about the letters that have shattered the silence between them. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asks, her voice thick with emotion. Jiwon, caught off guard and pale as a ghost, can't meet her gaze. "I didn't want to change your world. I thought it would be easier this way," he finally replies, his own voice shaky. The anger that had simmered within her softens, morphing into a grief for Jiwon, who was trying to bear this unbearable burden alone. A twist of realization dawns upon Seojin. Their shared silence had not just been a distance, it was the deepest form of isolation that Jiwon had enforced upon himself. The climax of their story unfolds amid muted hospital halls and sterile smells. Seojin becomes his fierce advocate, attending every appointment with him, reading between the lines of medical jargon, and learning how to navigate both the illness and the love they had almost lost. During one late-night conversation, under the dim glow of the hospital room lights, Jiwon confesses, "I thought distancing myself would protect you, but it nearly destroyed us." His admission weighs heavy in the room, the truth piercing through the lingering fears of what lies ahead. Seojin takes a deep breath, her heart racing at this juncture. "We can't heal if we don't share the weight," she implores. In that vulnerable moment, two fragile souls find clarity. Love isn't about shielding each other from pain, but about facing it together, however daunting it may seem. This cathartic release of emotions propels their relationship into uncharted territories where honesty and vulnerability redefine their bond. In the resolution, Jiwon and Seojin emerge from this shared turmoil with newfound clarity. They carve out small moments of joy in their days, embracing a tender intimacy fostered by their openness. Their relationship no longer hinges on unspoken fears, but on a commitment to facing each challenge as a team. They may not have all the answers, but in their vulnerability, they discover strength, a testament to genuine love. As they walk hand in hand through the vibrant streets of Seoul, their resolve becomes palpable in the lightness of their spirits. Future uncertainties loom large, but the profound connection forged through their ordeal leaves room for hope and resilience. While the road ahead may still be unpredictable, they step forward together, hearts intertwined, ready to live each day as a new beginning. In the quiet moments ahead, they find solace in the embrace of love, not as two individuals burdened by pain, but as partners committed to carving out a future where joy mingles with sorrow, a testament to the strength of their relationship. Love can often be the greatest source of pain, especially when secrets linger in the shadows. In the heart of their softened apartment, where the warmth of memory clashes with the chill of unspoken truths, Seojin fidgets with her hands, her pulse racing as she gazes at Jiwon, who seems worlds away. Once partners in love and ambition, they have been drifting apart, separated now by walls he erected, born from fear and vulnerability. As she breathes deeply, determination mingles with apprehension. Seojin can no longer stand on the sidelines. It's time to confront the truth. The tension in the room is palpable as Seojin speaks, her voice steady, though tinged with emotion. "You're hiding something from me, Jiwon. I can feel it." He glances away, the flicker of guilt in his eyes almost imperceptible. "You worry too much," he mutters, deflecting her concerns with dismissive waves. Outside, the vibrant city of Seoul pulses with life, but inside their home, silence reigns, heavy and suffocating. Seojin's heart aches, torn between her love for him and her growing frustration at his insistence on pushing her away. "What are you so afraid of?" She presses, moving closer, her emotions hanging in the balance like a thread ready to snap. It is a moment pregnant with tension, the truth threatening to spill into the open like a long-hidden secret. Finally, Jiwon relents. The armor he has maintained begins to crack under Seojin's unwavering gaze. "I don't want to burden you with my problems," he admits, his voice barely above a whisper, the weight of vulnerability hanging heavily in the air. As the revelation lands, the emotional landscape shifts between them. Seojin's anger for his secrecy slowly melts into compassion. Not sharing isn't protection, it's isolation, she counters gently, her own heart aching with understanding. All the while, the thought that he has been fighting a battle alone strikes her like arrows. "Let me in, Jiwon. We're stronger together," she pleads, her resolve strengthening. Jiwon's facade finally crumbles as he sits down, burying his face in his hands. "I'm sick, Seojin," he confesses, the tremor in his voice breaking her heart. "I have been for a while now." Tears sting Seojin's eyes as the truth slices through the layers of hurt and misunderstanding. "Why didn't you tell me?" she breathes, shocked by the revelation and the enormity of what they're about to face together. "I thought I could manage it. I didn't want you to suffer because of me." At that moment, the distance between them collapses as Seojin wraps her arms around him, anchoring him to the present. "You're not a burden. You're my partner, and this is what love looks like." Her voice is firm, but filled with tenderness. She realizes that their journey forward must begin with acceptance, a mutual commitment to facing uncertainties together. As the weeks unfold, Seojin becomes Jiwon's unwavering support, attending doctor's appointments and researching treatment options alongside him. The daily regimen is challenging, yet they manage to find bits of laughter, filling the room with tenderness that had seemed lost. They share quiet moments over heartfelt meals, threading warmth into their lives through shared stories and open conversations about their hopes and fears. The climax of their emotional journey arrives one evening as they sit on the balcony, the city lights shimmering like stars beneath them. Jiwon, visibly weakened yet resolute, turns to Seojin. "What if this doesn't work out? What if I don't make it?" His voice trembles with vulnerability, testing the boundaries of their newfound openness. In that moment, Seojin takes his hands, looking into his eyes with fierce determination. We will take it one step at a time. Together. No more hiding, no more walls. Whatever happens, we face it together, and that's not going to change. They both reflect on how love has rewritten their narrative, teaching them that the depths of vulnerability can lead to the strength of connection. With the night around them cloaked in uncertainty, a newfound hope blossoms, vibrant and alive. In the resolution, Jiwon begins to respond to treatment, and their lives regain a sense of rhythm and balance. While the journey of healing is fraught with ups and downs, they continue to grow as individuals and as a couple. Through challenges, laughter, and lessons of resilience, they redefine what it means to truly love and support one another. As the camera pulls back, the couple stands together on their balcony, silhouetted against the twinkling skyline of Seoul, a beautiful representation of hope amidst trials. Though their future remains uncertain, the bond they forged through openness and acceptance leaves them ready to face the world, hand in hand, hearts aligned for whatever lies ahead. In the shadow of illness, love can either wither or bloom. After the shocking revelation of Jiwon's terminal illness, Seojin and Jiwon face a difficult journey of healing, a journey that teeters between despair and hope. Their once vibrant apartment, now filled with the echoes of their unspoken fears, becomes the backdrop for both their struggles and their gradual rediscovery of love. As stepping into the hospital for yet another appointment, Seojin's heart races with fear, shadows mirroring her own anxieties as they navigate the starkly sterile environment. She grips Jiwon's hand tightly, a lifeline against the encroaching darkness. His weary smile attempts to soothe her worries, but Seojin sees the burden in his eyes. Despite her own apprehensions, she commits herself to bringing warmth back into their lives. "We'll take this one day at a time," she assures him, her voice steady despite the storm brewing inside. Their days become a blend of medical appointments and moments of tender connection. Seojin adopts a routine that balances practicality with affection. On good days, she whips up Jiwon's favorite meals, recounting funny anecdotes from her work, sparking laughter between them. "Remember that time you nearly set off the fire alarm trying to impress me?" she teases, and for a moment, the heaviness lifts, hinting at the joyful memories buried beneath their reality. Yet not every moment is easy. In the dim of night, Jiwon's pain flares, and Seojin's heart aches as she watches him struggle. One evening after his doctor's appointment, Jiwon reveals deeper fears about the treatment prognosis, his voice betraying his bravado. "What if I can't beat this?" His vulnerability weighs heavily on her heart, igniting a fire of determination within Seojin. "You will," she insists, placing her hands on his. "We will fight this together. You don't have to face it alone." As days turn into weeks, unexpected moments of joy emerge amidst the trials. Seojin surprises Jiwon with a spontaneous picnic in their living room, filling the air with aromatic dishes and bright, twinkling fairy lights. They reminisce about their travels, planning fantasies about places they wish to visit. Each shared dream offers glimpses of their love resurfacing against the backdrop of uncertainty, a testament to their resilience. However, the tension surges as Jiwon's health fluctuates, and amid the flickering hope, darker days loom large. One particularly challenging morning, he is too weak to rise from bed. Seojin, fighting exhaustion herself, feels her world constricting when he whispers, "I'm so sorry, Seojin." The weight of guilt slips into their moments of tenderness, almost suffocating. In that pivotal moment of despair, with her heart pounding in the tension-filled silence, she kneels beside him. "Don't apologize for being human, Jiwon. We're in this together," she whispers, teaching him to accept his vulnerability rather than hide from it. The climax unfolds during an intense hospital visit. Jiwon receives news of a new treatment plan that is experimental and dangerous. The uncertainty offers a painful choice: live with the risk of facing side effects that could rob him of time, or reject the hope for longer days. As the doctor explains, the tension between them thickens. Seojin senses that Jiwon's fear pushes him back toward isolation. The weight becomes visible in the way his shoulders slump. "This could be a chance for more time, Ji-won," she implores, her voice mirroring the desperation in her heart. In that moment, it's not just Ji-won's health on the line, but the essence of their future. After a long, fraught discussion, Ji-won's decision crystallizes. He turns to Seo-jin, vulnerability flickering in his eyes, and nods, a whisper of determination breaking through. "Let's try." The exhale of his choice lays a new track ahead, filled with both fear and hope. In the resolution, the treatment commences, and the couple navigates the ups and downs with a newfound intimacy. Seo-jin learns to cherish the small moments, waking Ji-won with breakfast in bed or holding his hand during particularly tough treatments. Their love, once threatened by shadows, begins to grow brighter in the face of adversity. Each laugh shared and serious conversation had reinforces the reality that they are more than just partners. They are allies, battling against the odds. As they lay on the couch one evening, wrapped in each other's warmth, Ji-won pulls Seo-jin close, whispering, "Whatever happens, I'm grateful for you." His words evoke a gentle squeeze of her heart, a promise to cherish moments yet to come, however uncertain. Life remains complex, but their bond shines more brightly for having challenged the darkness together. With the Seoul skyline glimmering behind them and the distant sounds of life outside, the couple finds a sense of peace in their journey. Though the road ahead remains uncertain, they embrace the future with resilience and love, standing united against whatever may come. Love can flourish, but can it withstand the weight of tradition? Ji-won and Seo-jin find themselves at a crossroads, their emotional bond deepening amidst the daunting clouds of external pressure. In the heart of Seoul's bustling streets, filled with the aroma of street food and the buzz of daily life, the couple grapples with their responsibilities, torn between familial expectations and their commitment to each other. The sun-drenched afternoon turns into an anxious evening as Ji-won receives another call from his parents, their voices laced with disappointment and concern. "Ji-won, you need to focus on your career," his father insists, the weight of tradition pressing down like an iron hand on his shoulder. "Your legacy is at stake." Seo-jin senses the tension radiating through Ji-won's body as he listens, his expressions shifting between frustration and sorrow. "Do they always have to bring this up?" Seo-jin murmurs, a soft yet firm reminder that their relationship deserves respect too. "You're not just a son. You're a partner to me." Ji-won sighs, staring out at the city skyline, a visible struggle battling within him. He is torn between loyalty to his family and the love he holds for Seo-jin, feeling like a trapped bird in a gilded cage. As the days pass, the mounting pressure from Ji-won's parents escalates. Seo-jin begins to feel the strain of their expectations, and her warning bells ring louder with each phone call Ji-won fields from them. One evening, Ji-won mentions his parents' disdain for their marriage, calling their relationship a distraction rather than a foundation. "They think I should be spending every waking hour at the office," Ji-won confesses, his voice tinged with frustration. Seo-jin's heart aches. She can see how deeply he is affected by the incessant expectations. At a family dinner, the situation crystallizes when Ji-won's mother bluntly states, "Your focus should be on building a successful life, not indulging in romance." The words pierce the air like arrows, and Seo-jin watches as Ji-won's expression shifts to one of shame. "Mom, Seo-jin is part of my life," he protests, the tension escalating in the room. Yet the look of disappointment on his parents' faces reveals a generational divide that seems insurmountable. Seo-jin, fueled by a protective instinct, finally chooses to speak up. "Ji-won deserves both love and a successful career," she asserts, her voice steady despite the storm brewing beneath the surface. "Our love is not a distraction, it's his strength." Gasps echo through the dining room, and Ji-won's parents' shocked expressions reflect a cultural norm that will not easily accommodate her defiance. With each word, Seo-jin stands firmly in the truth of their relationship, tearing down the walls of familial expectation that threaten to smother them. The climax of this emotional conflict occurs as Ji-won is caught between his family's expectations and Seo-jin's unwavering support. He paces in their apartment, the weight palpable in the tense atmosphere. What if they never accept us? He wonders aloud, the fear in his voice evident. Seojin's heart swells with empathy as she steps closer, taking his hands in hers. Then we'll forge our own path, she counsels softly. What matters is that we choose each other every day. In the days following the confrontation, something shifts in Jiwon. He begins to realize that Seojin's love provides a foundation he cannot afford to lose. As he fosters courage, he makes the decision to speak openly with his parents, a conversation he dreads, yet knows is necessary. Jiwon calls them for a meeting, determination replacing the internal conflict he had been fostering. The conversation is fraught with tension, but Jiwon stands strong as he articulates his feelings. I love Seojin, and she's a vital part of my life, he asserts, his voice firm and unwavering. Nothing you say can change that. I want to be true to myself, and that means choosing her. His parents, surprised and cornered by his resolve, exchange pained glances, grappling with their own emotions. The conclusion unfolds as Jiwon stands tall in front of his parents, heart racing but steady. They begin to see the depth of his commitment, and slowly, the expressions of disbelief transform into reflections of contemplation. Though they remain hesitant, there's a budding acknowledgement of his love, suggesting a willingness to bridge the gap. As the sun sets against the vibrant skyline of Seoul, Jiwon and Seojin find solace in their newfound resolution. Whatever happens, we'll build our future together, united, Jiwon whispers, wrapping Seojin in a warm embrace. Within the embrace lies an understanding of growth, both individually and as partners. Though the road ahead remains uncertain, they embrace the complexities of their love, fortified by their commitment to each other against the tides of familial expectations. As they walk hand in hand into the twilight, shadows of doubt linger, but hope blooms brightly in their hearts. Beneath the surface of corporate success lies a world of secrets that could shatter lives. As Seojin closes the door to their apartment, she feels the familiar weight of uncertainty resting on her shoulders. Jiwon, her devoted husband, battles his recently revealed terminal illness, but a shadow of doubt creeps into Seojin's mind. She is convinced that his health crisis is linked to something deeper, something hidden. The bright lights of Seoul shimmer outside their window, masking the turmoil that brews within her heart as she searches for answers. Days turn into restless nights as Seojin takes it upon herself to investigate Jiwon's company. Fueled by love and an insatiable drive to uncover the truth, she combs through documents and invoices, piecing together a fragmented puzzle. While sorting through Jiwon's work files in their home office, she stumbles across a series of reports indicating safety violations linked to one of the company's key products. Her heart races as realization dawns. Could Jiwon's illness be connected to these revelations? Seojin confronts Jiwon with what she's discovered, her voice trembling with urgency. I think your company's negligence is affecting your health. You need to be careful. Jiwon, still struggling to cope with his condition, dismisses her concerns and urges her to focus on brighter days instead. You're overreacting, Seojin. I appreciate your support, but I can handle this, he responds, his weariness reflected in his eyes. The desire to protect him battles against her insatiable need for truth, creating an invisible wedge between them. Despite Jiwon's reassurances, Seojin can't shake the feeling that she must dig deeper. Alone in their apartment, she pores over the documents late into the night, piecing together a narrative of negligence and intent. She stumbles upon a crucial piece of evidence, a memo revealing that the company had decided to cut costs, ignoring potential flaws in their product. Heartbroken yet resolute, she realizes the stakes are now higher than ever. Emboldened by her findings, Seojin visits Jiwon's workplace under the pretense of wanting to support him through a difficult day. As she wanders the polished halls, she overhears whispers of senior executives discussing plans that could endanger not just the employees, but the consumers relying on their products. Taking a deep breath, Seojin slips into a conference room and begins recording the conversation on her phone, desperate to gather incriminating evidence that could expose the corruption within the company. The climax comes when she returns home, racing against time to confront Ji-won with the undeniable proof she has uncovered. He sits on their sofa, clearly exhausted. The digital recorder feels like lead in her pocket, but she knows she must speak up. "Ji-won, I have something important to show you," she says, sitting down beside him and pulling out her phone. He looks at her, eyes narrowed with curiosity and concern, and she presses play. The voices of the executives fill the room, their calculated discussions towering over Ji-won's fragile health, and the realization hits him with a force that leaves him breathless. "They didn't think of us at all," he murmurs, their shared world reduced to fragments of shattered trust. Seojin watches the shock and anguish flash across Ji-won's face, herself grappling with the truth that threatens to unravel the life they've built. "We can't let this happen," she insists, her determination blossoming anew. "They need to be held accountable. I'm going to go to the authorities." Ji-won's eyes widen in horror. "No, Seojin. It's too risky. What if they retaliate?" The fear of exposure clashes against his protective instincts as they wrestle with the implications of her choice. In that moment, mutual understanding sparks between them. This battle is one they must face together, and their love is a force strong enough to weather any storm. Ji-won stands, heart pounding, and declares, "Then we fight together." Their arms wrap around one another, not just in comfort, but in shared resolve. Seojin's fierce commitment fuels Ji-won's strength, and their hearts align against the rising tide of adversity. The conclusion reveals the steps they take toward justice, a journey that will test their relationship while honoring their commitment to truth. With Seojin's evidence, they approach advocacy groups and journalists, determined to expose the web of corruption. As they navigate a tumultuous world, Ji-won finds his voice again, revealing a resilience he thought lost. Each moment spent fighting for the integrity of his company slowly heals the wounds of doubt and guilt that plagued him. Seojin and Ji-won's story intertwines through moments of vulnerability and strength, showcasing love's resilience against corporate greed. As they stand in front of a news camera together, hands interlocked, the city of Seoul mirrored in the backdrop, they know the road ahead is fraught with challenges, yet they are ready to face whatever awaits. Though uncertainties linger, their love has deepened into a formidable force, one that champions truth and integrity, opening pathways to redemption and hope. Love can be a beacon of strength, but fighting for justice can ignite a fire within. As dawn breaks over the bustling streets of Seoul, Seojin stands by the window of their apartment, a cup of coffee in hand, her mind racing with determination. Ji-won, her husband, is still asleep on the sofa, exhausted from the toll of his illness combined with the corporate corruption they uncovered. Seojin recognizes the weight of responsibility resting on her shoulders, aware that if there is any hope for their future, they must confront the dangers posed by his employer. Juggling her demanding job at an architectural firm and her commitment to unveiling the truth, Seojin devises a plan to expose the company's corrupt practices. She feels an unyielding sense of urgency as she organizes the information she obtained, evidence of safety violations, cost-cutting measures, and the company's negligence toward employees' health. That day, she arrives at work, navigating through meetings and deadlines while keeping her investigation close to her heart. Seojin's assistant, Minji, notices the shadows under her eyes and the clasped tablet she now carries around. "You've been on edge lately." "Is everything okay?" Minji asks, concern knitting her brow. Seojin smiles, masking her worries. "Just a bit of work stress. I'll be fine." Yet, the truth weighs heavily as Seojin's mind dances between the chaotic world of corporate pressure and her devotion to Ji-won. As the plan solidifies, she decides to share her newfound purpose with Ji-won. Excited and apprehensive, she approaches him one evening as he sits with a worn expression, flipping through reports about his illness. "Ji-won, I discovered something shocking about your company. I need your help. We have to bring this to light," she declares, her hands gripping his in intensity. Ji-won, his brows knitting together, lays down the papers. "Seojin, I appreciate your drive, but this could put you in danger. You don't need to fight this battle for me, he replies, a mixture of admiration and concern dancing in his voice. Yet Seojin knows that this is about more than just Jiwon's health. It's about justice for all those affected by the company's wrongdoing. I want to do this. For us, she insists, her voice firm. We have to stop this before it harms anyone else. Together, we can make a difference. Her passion resonates, stirring something within Jiwon, reigniting his own fervor for the fight. Okay, let's do it. He finally relents, his determination rekindled by her light. The pair begins working together, grounds for positivity amidst uncertainty. Seojin handles the research while Jiwon taps into his knowledge of the corporate structure to identify allies within the company, those who still believe in ethical practices. They share laughter and brainstorming sessions, often collapsing onto the sofa in exhaustion, but also in a shared joy of unity against a common enemy. However, tension mounts as they uncover a deeper layer of corporate malfeasance than they initially anticipated. One night, as they sift through documents strewn across their living room floor, Seojin's eyes widen in disbelief. Jiwon, look at this. They're keeping data hidden about side effects associated with the products. This is serious, she exclaims, her heart racing. Jiwon leans in, reading the findings with mounting concern. If they're pushing harmful products, lives could be at stake. We need to act quickly. As the climax nears, Seojin sets up a meeting with a journalist who specializes in whistleblower cases. Shadowed in secrecy, they plan their approach, but uncertainty lingers like a thick fog. The morning of the meeting, Jiwon looks pale, his illness stewing beneath the surface as the reality sets in. What if they retaliate? What if all of this puts you at risk? His voice is a mere whisper, full of fear for Seojin's safety. Seojin clasps his hands tightly. If we don't speak up, they'll keep hurting others, Jiwon. I can't stand by and watch. As they prepare to leave for the meeting, the air is heavy with shared determination, a culmination of all the sacrifices they've made to fight not just for their love, but for those who might never have a voice otherwise. In the resolution, the story concludes in the warmth of sunlight, pouring through a glass office where Seojin and Jiwon sit with the journalist. An aura of hope radiates around them, even as they face the unknown. As they share their harrowing story, the truth becomes a catalyst for change, a spark of justice igniting within a broken system. Afterward, as they walk shoulder to shoulder through the bustling streets of Seoul, the fear of the looming corporate giants lingers, but now they wear hope like armor. Jiwon squeezes Seojin's hand, breathing in the invigorating air of possibility. Whatever happens next, we did the right thing, he murmurs, his eyes alight with gratitude and belief. The couple may not know what the immediate future holds, but their unwavering support for one another fortifies their journey ahead. As they navigate their relationship with renewed vigor and purpose, they embody the strength that comes from both love and courage, a testament to their unbreakable bond in the face of adversity. Sometimes, the strongest love is forged in the fires of adversity. In a cozy apartment filled with the late afternoon glow, Jiwon and Seojin sit surrounded by scattered papers and a laptop, piecing together evidence of corporate wrongdoing. Jiwon, feeling a flicker of hope amidst his ongoing battle with illness, focuses on the task at hand, but the strain of his health issues hangs over them like a cloud. Seojin can't help but notice the way his hands tremble as he types, and her heart pounds with the weight of their shared struggle. As they dive deeper into their investigation, unexpected setbacks strike. One evening, while reviewing a crucial document, Jiwon suddenly clutches his stomach, grimacing. Seojin's heart races. She rushes to his side, her mind clouded with panic. Jiwon, what's wrong? He tries to wave her off, insisting it's nothing, but his face tells a different story. The reality of his condition crushes the buoyancy of their shared hope, and a shadow of despair settles between them. Days of uncertainty unfold as Jiwon's health declines. Seojin's concern deepens, and she struggles to keep their investigation on track. As she balances demands from work and her commitment to uncovering the truth, the pressure becomes overwhelming. "I can't do this without you, Ji-won," she admits, her voice trembling one night as they sit in the living room surrounded by research materials. "You are the soul of this fight." Ji-won looks at her, heart brimming with both love and guilt. "I never wanted my illness to become your burden," he murmurs, vulnerability spilling forth. Despite his struggles, Seojin sees a spark of determination in Ji-won's eyes. After a deep conversation where they share their fears and hopes, they resolve to lean on each other. In the subsequent weeks, as they navigate Ji-won's treatment and the investigation, they find solace in the little moments. The laughter shared over takeout dinners, the warmth of hands clasped together, the late-night talks that rekindle their connection. In the face of darkness, they cultivate light. As strain intensifies from both the corporate challenges and Ji-won's deteriorating health, a pivotal moment arises one evening when Ji-won collapses after a small argument over the investigation. Seojin rushes him to the hospital, where the doctor confirms that his condition has worsened. He needs immediate, intensive care. In the sterile hospital room, as monitors beep rhythmically, Ji-won, vulnerable yet fiercely determined, looks at Seojin. "I'm scared," he confesses, tears welling in his eyes. "Me too," Seojin admits, squeezing his hand tightly. "But I will not give up on you. We can do this together." This shared vulnerability strengthens their bond, turning fear into resolve. That night, as they lie side by side, she promises to see him through the darkest hours, and he vows to fight for his health and their future. Their determination becomes a lifeline that they cling to amidst the chaos. The climax of their journey unfolds as Ji-won faces a critical treatment decision. The doctors provide two options. One is aggressive but risky, the other is conservative. The familial reminders of expectations echo in Ji-won's mind, but Seojin's unwavering support shines through despite the heaviness of choice. "Whatever you decide, I'll be with you," she reassures him. And in that moment, Ji-won's internal struggle begins to dissolve. With a newfound clarity, he chooses the aggressive treatment, fueled by his desire to reclaim their life together. In the resolution, Ji-won starts to respond to treatment and gradually regains strength. The couple resumes their investigation with fresh vigor, forging ahead in their mission to expose the corporate corruption they initially set out to uncover. With each step they take, their love deepens. Light-hearted moments punctuate the weight of their struggles, reminding them that joy can coexist with sorrow. As news of their findings begins to gain traction, Seojin holds Ji-won's hand as they deliver evidence to the authorities. United in purpose, they stand firm within the storm of public scrutiny, knowing that their fight serves a greater cause. In the face of adversity, they have not only rekindled their connection, but also found a shared purpose that solidifies their love. The couple emerges stronger, their love story transformed by the trials they have faced together. They know challenges will remain, including Ji-won's ongoing health battles and the fallout from their corporate exposure, but they face these uncertainties with hope and resilience, their hands entwined. Embracing both the pain and the joy as they move forward, they stand as a testament to love's ability to prevail against even the harshest tides of life. Just when hope seems within reach, life throws the greatest tests. In the heart of bustling Seoul, a storm brews as Seojin and Ji-won stand on the brink of a monumental breakthrough. Their recent discovery of corporate corruption has ignited a shared fire within them, propelling Seojin to work tirelessly to gather evidence that will expose the truth. Ji-won's health struggles lurk beneath the excitement, casting a shadow over their efforts as each passing day sees him fighting his own battle. With determination etched on her face, Seojin schedules a meeting with an investigative journalist known for tackling corporate wrongdoings. Late that night, in their dimly lit living room, she reviews the documents of safety violations and concealed reports related to Ji-won's employer. "This is it, Ji-won," she whispers, her voice breaking the stillness. "This could change everything." Ji-won, seeing her spirit, musters a smile, invigorated by her fierce commitment. "You've put so much effort into this. I believe in you," he replies, but a flicker of worry remains in his eyes. Weeks fly by, and the stakes rise higher with every piece of evidence Seojin uncovers. She organizes everything meticulously, bringing Jiwon into the fold as he gradually regains his strength, at least emotionally. The couple begins to find comfort and camaraderie in the faces of their fierce adversaries, cultivating moments of laughter that bond them further. Yet, amidst the optimism, the toll of Jiwon's illness remains painfully evident, and there are nights when the weight of it all feels overwhelming. One fateful morning, just as they prepare for a crucial meeting with the journalist, Jiwon collapses in the kitchen, drawing a terrified gasp from Seojin. "Jiwon!" She rushes to his side, her heart pounding as she recognizes the signs of a health crisis. The diagnosis confirms their worst fears. Stress and treatment have taken a severe toll. Jiwon requires immediate hospitalization. In the sterile, brisk environment of the hospital, the vibrant aspiration that once filled their lives dims. As monitors beep overhead, Seojin clings to Jiwon's hand, tears trailing down her cheeks. "I can't lose you now," she whispers, knowing how close they are to reclaiming their path. Jiwon, frail yet resolute, musters the energy to reassure her. "You're my strength, Seojin. If anyone can drag me back from this, it's you." The climax unfolds as the couple finds themselves in a precarious balance of hope and despair. Seojin grapples with the decision to go ahead with their plan to expose the corrupt entity while Jiwon grapples with the shadows of fear surrounding his health. "We need to do this," Seojin insists through her tears. "We are so close." Jiwon, overwhelmed by his physical limitations, looks at her. "I'm scared. What if I can't follow through?" In that moment of vulnerability, inspiration flares within Seojin. "Then I will be the one to carry us forward. You've taught me to fight for what's right. I can do this, and we will do it together. You show up for me when I need you, and I will do the same." It's a turning point in both their lives. Her words reignite Jiwon's fighting spirit, not just for his health, but for their enduring what they have built together. As Seojin steps into the realm of fearlessness, she meets with the journalist, laying bare her findings and the scope of the risks the corporation poses. Media coverage swiftly follows, igniting public outrage and forcing the company to address the fatal flaws in its practices. In the resolution, Jiwon eventually stabilizes, gaining strength from the wave of support flooding in after the exposé. He understands that vulnerability does not mean weakness. It is, instead, a path to healing. Side by side once more, they watch media reports about the standing ovation rally of support for those impacted by the corruption at Jiwon's company. Despite the shadows of uncertainty that still loom, they know that they have transcended their struggles. In the warmth of the home they've fought to protect, Seojin leans against Jiwon, who is now stronger, their fingers interlocked in a bond forged in the fires of adversity. They share a soft smile, and in that glance lies a reassurance. Their journey is far from over, but they are no longer defined by their struggles. Together, they have come out on the other side, ready to embrace life anew, filled with hope and the tender idea that love can thrive even in the darkest times. True love shines brightest in the darkest times. In the picturesque city of Seoul, as the cherry blossom trees flutter with the arrival of spring, Jiwon and Seojin emerge from the shadows of hardship, their bond forged anew through trials that tested their commitment. After overcoming the storm of Jiwon's illness and confronting the corruption within his corporate world, the couple stands ready to celebrate their journey and reaffirm their love. Inside a cozy shop filled with fragrant flowers, Seojin meticulously arranges cherry blossoms, their petals a soft pink that mirrors her hopeful heart. "I want this day to be perfect, Jiwon," she says, her enthusiasm bubbling over as she looks around the room they've rented for the ceremony. Jiwon, still recovering but with a new glimmer of strength, smiles warmly. "As long as you're with me, it will be," he reassures her, his eyes filled with love. Seojin admires how far he's come, each laugh shared underlined by a hard-earned vulnerability that deepens their connection. As family and friends arrive, excitement mingles with nostalgia. Jiwon's parents, initially hesitant about their bond, have come to embrace their relationship. transformed by witnessing the couple's tenacity and love. As they mingle, Seojin feels an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Later, during a quiet moment away from the crowds, she confesses to Jiwon, "I was terrified we wouldn't make it through." He reaches for her hand, squeezing it gently. "But we did. We faced every challenge together. That's what love is." Yet amidst the celebration, unexpected tensions arise. As they prepare for their vows, whispers of corporate backlash seep in, threatening to overshadow their happiness. Jiwon's former employer may retaliate against them for exposing the malfeasance that put his health at risk. Seojin glances over at Jiwon and sees the tightening of his jaw, a reminder that even though they've come so far, shadows still linger in their lives. "No matter what happens, we will handle it together," she assures him, her voice steady yet gentle. Just as they step up to the altar, the moment they've anticipated becomes a test of their resilience. A messenger from Jiwon's former company arrives, delivering a message of intimidation. "You think you've won, but we'll make sure this will come back to haunt you," he sneers, before walking away. The weight of the threat hangs heavily in the air, halting the moment. Jiwon pauses, the world around him fading as doubts flood his mind. Seojin, sensing his struggle, turns to him, eyes fierce with determination. "This is our moment, Jiwon. Don't let them steal it from us. We've faced the worst, and we've come out stronger," she asserts. In that instant, she sees the shift in Jiwon. His fear is replaced by her unwavering support. With a deep breath, he nods, drawing strength from her conviction. The climax arrives as the couple slips back into their vows, undeterred by the setbacks that had shaken them. Seojin speaks first, her voice strong and clear. "I vow to cherish you, to fight with you against every storm that comes our way, and to love you fiercely for the rest of our days." Jiwon's heart swells, the sincerity resonating deep within as he responds. "I vow to stand by you, to support you in all our efforts, and to love you with every ounce of my being, no matter the battles we face." As they exchange rings, a wave of comfort washes over them, replacing the earlier tensions with an overwhelming sense of unity. Friends and family beam with joy, celebrating the couple's commitment to each other. They embrace, sealing their vows with a kiss that signifies the power of love redefined, resilient, renewed, and ready to embrace whatever lies ahead. In the conclusion, as the ceremony wraps up, Jiwon and Seojin leave hand in hand, stepping into the sunlight with the knowledge that while challenges remain, their dedication to one another will fortify them through life's difficulties. The chilling threat from the company still looms, but they feel equipped to face it together. Seojin leans into Jiwon's side, and he whispers, "Whatever happens, we'll keep blooming, just like these cherry blossoms." With the city bustling around them, they soak in the present, understanding that their love story, stitched together by hardship and triumph, is just beginning. United now by an even greater purpose, they know that regardless of the storms on the horizon, they will navigate them hand in hand, their hearts firmly bound in love and hope. Do you think love can overcome even the greatest obstacles, like a terminal illness? How would you react if you were in Seojin's place? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to never miss more emotional stories like this. See you in the next story.